everybody, it's Coach Carrie. I'm here with Alyssa. So what's up? Hey. We're gonna show you some things you can do at home today, some skills and some stretching activities you can do safely at home with your parents or by yourself if you finish your schoolwork and you need something extra to do at home. You ready? All right, we always start with a little bit of cardio when we work out. We want to loosen up our muscles and make them really nice and warm. She's gonna run 5 laps, circling her arms around. Right arm forward, Alyssa. Make sure she's pointing her toes through the floor. And other arm. This is just gonna get their bodies moving and loose up for them to work with. And high knees lift. Point your toes to the ground, to the ground, to the ground. Sure, run outside, up and down your driveway. In place. Alyssa, stop and run in place for me. Pointing her toes to the floor. If you don't have a lot of room to work with, this is perfectly fine to do as well. And booty kicks. Pointing her feet, her knees are facing the floor. Her ribs are in tight and she's using her arms to help her whole body move. You want to use your whole body when you're working out. And 50 jumping jacks, go. Any kind of cardio to get their heart rate pumping is great for when before you work out. Lock the knees super tight, Alyssa. Point through your toes, lock the elbows. And tight body jumps. Arms up above your head. Her knees are super tight together. Her toes are pointing off the floor. Really push through the top of your foot. Your ears are covered. Super tall. Great job, Alyssa. And tuck jumps. 5 for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The average child. Making sure that they are having their back knee under when they do this though is the biggest thing, and their toe and leg going in a straight line with their other toe and leg up here. It isn't necessary to do oversplits with your young ones, but when they do these you want to make sure their shoulders are on top of their hips and their hands are reaching back as far as they can go to help their back hip stretch its full potential. And if you need to give them a little push, you can give them a little push. We don't want to push them too much where they're uncomfortable, but reminding them of their other body parts as well, especially for our young ones who can't focus on too many things at one time. We want to help them out as much as we can with remembering, hey, keep the still pointed while you're squeezing this back leg straight. Both legs, go ahead and show the other leg. Always do both legs and make sure that you tell them which leg to do so that way they don't do the same leg 2 times. Get back knee under. And it's okay to constantly remind them, it doesn't hurt them to have some reassurance on what they're doing. Back to your friend. Give her a little tap on the bottom, make sure it's actually tight, give her foot a little tap. She's even pressing her front knee down herself, but look at these shoulders, they're going forward already. You want this hand to reach back and this hip to really press to the ground. It's really nice, Alyssa. Make sure your toes stay forward. Really nice. And count to 10 for me. Lock it. Another good one you can do is they can stay right here and just turn their body right on around. And this is a good one to keep their back leg tight, working on your muscles above your knee right here because they're not supported, and really reaching this front hand forward. Front hand forward. That's really nice. Make sure that knee stays pointing to the ground back here and tighten, not bending. So you can give it a little push. Test the waters a little bit, making sure their hips are facing forward and square. Good job, Alyssa. And other leg. Awesome job. Squeeze it super tight. Good girl. Making sure again that this back knee is facing the ground. Give it a little tap. It's a little bit and a little open. So we're going to pull this leg over and make sure her hips are facing the ground. And they don't have to be scored in this one. They can also sit up with their arms back. So really focusing on pressing this bad hip to the ground. This opposite hip. Lock the knee in the back. Good job. And count. Another great important stretch to work on at home with your kids is their bridges and their shoulder flexibility. We really want to start working on this young. Go ahead and bridge up for me. We want to start working on this young so by the time they're ready to throw their back handsprings and skills like that, that they have that flexibility and those open shoulders in order to get their hands on top of their head even quick enough. But look at her nice, straight, tight knees. Alyssa's been working shoulders, so she really works really hard for it. She has her toes together and tight. And you don't want to forget to breathe when you're upside down. You want to breathe in, take deep breaths, and only hold that for like 10 to 15 seconds. And every time you come out from a bridge, what do? We do our rock and roll. Anytime that you are concaving your back, you want to go back and convex it and rock it out and make sure that it's not tense. And do a couple of those bridges. There's a few different variations you can do. If you're younger and you have a tot at home, you can do a tabletop. Can you do a tabletop for me? Yeah. And this is really good for putting the weight in their hands. Putting their weight in their hands if they're younger and they can't do a bridge, and really raising their hips to the sky with their toes tight together and their fingers facing forward just like they would in a real bridge. And they can hold that for 10 seconds. You can give them a little push, a little shove, and really make sure they're raising those hips up toward the sky. Another great thing you can do at home with your kids, find any raised surface. You could use a stair, a pillow, some books, some bigger books, a couch cushion. There's a bunch of different things. Use your imagination, see what you can use. You don't need to prop them up too high for this one first, but we're gonna work on our toe point and our flex, really using those ankle muscles and being coordinated and understanding how to even do that. So we're gonna flex our feet first, a super open flex foot, and we're gonna just point our toes, not our whole foot. We're just gonna point our toes, and now we're gonna point our whole foot with our heels still touching together, heels together touching, and then we're gonna just flex our toesies, and then now we're gonna flex our whole foot. So it's 4 different things, and it's also really good for listening skills to see if they can hear and understand and move their body with what they're saying. So point your toes, point your foot, flex your toes, flex your foot, point your toes, point your foot, flex your toes, flex your foot. And I know it seems really silly, but it's a really great one for them to understand. Point your toes, point your foot, flex your toes, flex your foot. And if they're not as flexible, you can do this on the floor. You don't have to have their feet raised up, but it's really great for the more advanced kids that are at home and already have their pike stretched pretty much flat on the ground. So they can reach past their feet up here. And parents, if you are assisting them, you can hold with one hand on the top of their kneecap, above their kneecap on their thigh, and push their knees straight. They start to bend and give them a little love and a little push right here to really get those knees straight. Not too much, you don't want to hurt them, but you want to allow them to stretch to their full potential. And then another great one for after they do their reaching forward is for them to reach back. And this stretches their shoulders, complete opposite part of your body, but really great stretch. Making sure their pinkies are together and reaching back, seeing how far they can open up their armpits. While also keeping her toes pointed together and tight and her knees locked onto this mat. And then she's going to use her core to back up and reach back forward. Keep their toes touching together for another 10 seconds. Can you count out loud, Alyssa? Awesome. And if you guys do have some sort of surface to do this on too, this is another great one for our more flexible kids. Put your feet up like this. And this is also one you can stack some books up and sit in front of a wall and do this one. It's really great for lifting your knees to the sky. And like I said earlier, rolling your feet backwards. We don't want their knees going forwards in these types of stretches or in any situation. We always want our knees going up to the sky, lock them super tight. And she's really just going to push her hips open. And parents, if you want, you can push them against the wall. Like that's a great one that we'll show you here in a minute. You just want to hold this for 10 to 15 seconds. Count out loud. Does it hurt? Pocket. Pockets, please. Alright, we're going to show you a few of our body positions that you can work on with your kids at home. And once they figure out all the positions, you can use it as kind of a game for them to see if they can remember them. This is our tight body position. Parents, if you're at home, you can give your kids a little push and say, who's stronger, me or you, and see who can be the strongest one. Alyssa pushed really tall, really tall, really tall. Good job. And her body is straight. Her ribs are in. You really want to focus on their spine being straight. Arch your back for me. If they're standing here like this is not a tight body. They can't support their weight. like this. So you want to really make sure that their hips are tucked under and their spine is flat and their arms are super pushed open. So if they need assistance, you can just do exactly what I'm doing right here and touch their toes. Making sure their hips are staying on top of their ankles. They don't have to reach that far back, but really focusing on the back of their knees, pushing straight and extending all the way out. Try to push them all the way straight to my hand. All the way straight to my hand. Good, and you want them to at least hold these positions for 10 to 15 seconds. They might not be able to if they're really tiny to get their hands on the floor and straighten their knees. You can stand up with me. But you want them to reach as far as they can with straight legs. We don't want them to touch their toes. Touch your toes for me. And bend your knees. We don't want them just to touch their toes just to say they touch their toes. So if they can't touch the floor and have straight knees, they don't have to. They can just reach as far as they can. If this is as far as they can go, then that's the best that each kid can do. So that is our pike position. Alyssa, go show us our straddle position. You don't need to have their feet too wide apart because we really want to focus on our legs being super tight. One way to find out if they're even squeezing their legs is is just to pick them up by the bottom of their knee, see if it's loose, and make it tight, push their muscles. You want their heel to try to come off the floor that they're squeezing so tight. So you can use that as some verbiage. Let's see who can get their heels off the floor, and let's see how tight you can squeeze your legs. But some great stretches to do in this position of reaching two hands past 1 foot. You always want to reach with two hands first and one on each side. You never want to put two hands on one side. Always keep it even and try to keep both booty cheeks on the floor when they're reaching over to their foot and making sure that their knees are staying tight. So you can poke and pry at them and shake their feet, tickle them, see if they can concentrate on what they're doing, keeping their toes tight, pulling up on their toes, and reach up tall. And between each stretch, you want them to stretch right back up tall. So you want to really be familiar with this tall body position. You reach past your other foot, everything do from one side, you always do on the other side. Squeeze it tight, make sure there's no bend. You can't put your hand under there. Try to see if she can lock her knees so much her foot comes up. Oh, barely, and her toes are loose. Reaching all the way past her foot, looks really nice. Another one for if you're more advanced with us, you can cross your arms like you're going to wear a seatbelt. Seatbelt over and reach. When you do this one, you really want to make sure that your whole shoulders are open like this. You don't want to cover your pretty face. Cover your face for me. Put your head out. That's not correct. You really want to focus on stretching this whole top part. So it needs to be on top, really pushing their head through and reaching this hand over here. And this looks really nice. Her knees aren't touching the floor, so you really want to make sure that they can keep both legs on the floor when they're doing this stretch, or there's really no need to do it. The other side, put your feet. Another tip, parents, if they're sitting in their straddle and their toes are coming forward, you really want to try to help them by rolling them backwards. We don't want their big toes going forward. We want them really pressed back and their knees facing the sky. Reach up tall. And when they go to the middle, this is usually when that happens. So you can sit here and just pull their feet back, and they can reach out as far as they can go, really squeeze their knees tight. Some of them can go flat and some of them can barely get their hands out there, but whatever they can do is what they can do, but really try to see if they can do it with good form. Alright, lay back in a tight body position. This is a tricky one for some of our rec kids. We work on body positions every time in class, but learning how to pull your back to the floor is kind of a tough one. It uses up some different muscles that they're developing. So you really want to just see what part of their body needs to be focused on. So you can just look at her right now and see her hands are her arms are not on the floor. So I would look at her and say, let's start the arms. And then when she fixes her arms, her knees get loose. Let's say lift her knees. And let's say relax your chin. Lift back flat. Squeeze tight. And see if they can hold this position for at least 30 seconds to 1 minute. See if they can concentrate on which part of their body they're squeezing, and if they can keep squeezing that same part of their body along with all the other things that they're doing, thinking about in this one position. And really push your arms flat, arms flat, arms flat. Get up, and stand up tall, please. And that was just some basic stretches that I know